I didn't have this on my calendar today. I didn't know that this was even the case until I came to work.
I wore my green.
I see that, to
for
honor.
Pickle Day.
that had to be a coincidence.
It was, yes, it was.
I feel better about that now. Today is National Pickle Day, and one local producer has crunched its way into grocery stores and delis all across the country.
Yeah, Don, Hermann, and Sons. They've been making pickles the old-fashioned way for nearly 6 decades, and their family recipes are still delighting pickle lovers nationwide.
Our very own pickle correspondent, Mike-Polk-Jr., got an inside look at the story behind the brand and where the company is headed today.
Please ponder the pickle. What began as an ancient preservation method 4,000 years ago has become a true American staple and a booming industry. But though pickles were perpetually popular in the past, they're particularly prominent presently. According to Pickle Packers International, a prestigious pack of pickle promoters, American people pound about 20 billion pickles per year. By now, you know that pickle passion has plainly permeated the populace. But what you might not know is that one of the country's biggest pickle purveyors proudly produces pickles right here in Northeast Ohio. Tucked away in the quiet town of Garrettsville, the Don, Hermann & Sons Pickle Company has been turning out the half-sours, dills, and chips for nearly 6 decades.
The great story is really the Hermann family moved out here to Garrettsville. They started raising poultry, chicken disease, and kind of wiped out their business plan. They were growing cucumbers, and Mom had an old Hungarian recipe, put a label on this jar, and when she took the kids to Jewish classes on Saturday morning, she started peddling them around to the delis.
What started as a family trying to make ends meet quickly grew into a pickle empire of prodigious proportions, with a crisp reputation that still stands today. And when pickle packing brothers Pat and Tim Viancourt acquired the company in 2021, they knew they weren't just buying a business.
We do feel the responsibility to really protect the legacy of the brand and what's been built, because if there's one word that I use to describe our company, it's authentic.
That responsibility extends to their longtime employees, many of whom have been with the company for decades.
This is Georgie Baylor, our plant manager. Been doing this for the better part of 28 years.
Here, nearly 100 workers, made up of a dedicated crew with a strong Amish presence, wash, slice, and pack up to 3,000 5-gallon buckets of pickles a day. This is the place where the Pickle Packers pack.
Fresh packed, so they're going in whether it's the bucket or the jar as a cucumber, and 5 to 7 days later coming out as a brined pickle.
You can find their products in grocery stores and delis from here to Texas under both the Don Hermann and Nathan's Famous labels.
Which is part of Nathan's Hot Dogs and other Nathan's products. What once was, we'd call a New York brand, it really now has global presence.
They're also behind many of the pickles you'll find in big-name food brands and grocery chains.
We probably produce all own brand label for probably 10,000 retail outlets that we have NDAs with that we can't talk about, but they trust us because of the quality of the product.
The brothers say the company's longevity is testament to the universality of pickles.
Passover kind of sometimes falls pretty close to St. Patrick's Day.
2 very different cultures celebrating pickles.
And these days, the pickle profession is popping, thanks to a new generation of pickle patrons, the Dillennials.
This probiotic, this fermented segment of consumption for health benefits, and we've been very fortunate to just be part of that.
Plus, pickles are no longer pigeonholed to summertime patio parties. People now partake in pickles pretty much all year round.
You can have a party without a relish tray and pickles, but is it really a party at that point?
We don't think so.
Now they're focused on investing in their team and upgrading technology, while keeping that same handmade touch that's kept Hermann pickles cold, crunchy, and beloved for decades.
I always say to our employees, when you walk down the aisles of a grocery store and you see a jar of Nathan's or you see a jar of Don Hermann pickles, you know that you had something to do with that. And somebody's going to buy that, and it's going to bring a smile to their face.
This is Mike Polk, gherkin hard for my money on the Pickle Beat for 3 News.
And that, my friends, was a master class in alliteration. Wow.
I wonder how much he spit during that when he was cracking that.
More than half of the words that Mike spoke for that piece began with a P.
Yes, they did.
Or
yes,
that package, whatever you want. So I'll say this, a couple of extra pickle facts that Mike has armed us with for this portion of the program. Pickle actually comes from Shakespeare's The Tempest. And dill, that's America's favorite, known for its signature tang and crunch.
Yeah.
I like a dill, but I like a sweet pickle more.
See, I like dill.
Okay, very good. And you have some other pickle facts.
Speaking of crunch, actually, did you know it's loud enough to be measured on an audible crunch meter? Which I've never seen. I don't know what that looks like.
I didn't know that there was a crunch meter, but now I do. Did Mike make that up?
I don't know. We're at his mercy right now. We don't know.
What does Doritos measure on the crunch meter?
I don't know.
Higher than the pickle.
The word pickle comes from the Dutch word pekkel, meaning brine.
Oh. Okay.
We've
well,
been
that makes
cut off
sense.
from the other ones.